Hey guys! Today I'm going to be talking about some work related to English 101 that actually taught me something. My first artifact is an essay from last quarter for my American Indian Experience class. Up until this point, most of my writing experience had been in writing thesis-driven essays, where you have a thesis at the beginning and you spend the rest of the paper trying to prove why you're right. One of the things I'm really glad I learned this quarter is the evolving thesis, which I actually like to use a lot more than thesis-driven papers because it gives me a lot more room for creativity. I also really enjoy this method because you can write about how much you disagree with the scholars, and that's totally fine. My next artifact is the Reading in 3 Keys assignment that we did way in the beginning of the year. And one of the main purposes of this assignment was to practice using citation packages, which I was really happy about because I had no idea how to use them up until this point. I'd mostly just been throwing them in for good measure whenever they were required. After taking English 101, I learned that the best way to use a citation package is to first deconstruct what the author is trying to say and then explain why that has to do with your paper. My third artifact is our QHQ writing assignment, where we basically wrote questions and answers in a vicious cycle over and over again until we found a new perspective for our essays. This was what ultimately shaped my presentation essay and gave it more depth. As I went on into the QHQ process, my CIQs became more in-depth. For example, I started off with, why do people leave YouTube comments? And from there, my second essay CIQ was, how does perspective play a role in YouTube comments? And in my final essay, my CIQ was, how does harmful and healthy dogmatism have an effect on YouTube comments? The QHQ helped me find more of the depth that I felt like I was missing in my first essay. My last artifact is an excerpt from my second essay, where I finally managed to incorporate the authoritative I into my paper. Throughout my middle and high school years, it was thoroughly ingrained into my brain to never use first-person pronouns in formal essays because it made it lack credibility. But when we started doing peer reviews for our first essays, I found that a lot of my classmates were incorporating the authoritative I without making their ethos sound any less credible. I'm still kind of getting used to using personal pronouns in formal essays for scholarly purposes, but I think it's really refreshing to be breaking out of the conventional way of writing. Those are my 4 artifacts, and that is it for today's video. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.